One of the hardest things that we have to do as event marketers is to build a clear mission statement or value prop for our event. So today what we're going to do on this run of show is to outline some of the ways that I've gone through that process. And it's a really hard process. It takes a lot of iteration, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of waking up, throwing away what you thought about, and starting over. But this process is incredibly important as you think about promoting your event through all of your channels. Really, it's going to be your single source of truth, your beacon for why people should attend your event. It's going to make promotion possible. So let's dive into how we build a successful value proposition that drives registration. So when you're building a value proposition, first and foremost, you have to remember you're building this for a specific set of people, the right people. These are typically customers or prospects or loyalists or fans that you're trying to capture their ear. And the most important thing you can do when you start this process is to create a persona, a very clear articulation of who you are talking to. Once you know that, once you can literally take a picture of them, put it on your desk, and start talking to them about why they should attend your event, it all starts to become pretty clear. Because you start to think about where are they when they receive this promotion? And what are they thinking about? What do they need in life? And that's the next most important mindset as we develop our value proposition. Once we know who we're talking to, we need to think about what they need, what drives them to take this action and spend this time at your event, often spend money to get to your event. And so there's a lot of ways to think about this. I recently read a book that I found to be very useful in articulating kind of what drives humans. So it's called Driven: How Human Nature Shapes Our Choices. And in this book, they walk through an anthropological study of what gets humans to do things. And in the book, they outline 4 different reasons that humans do the things that they do. Our drives come from our drive to acquire things, which is to get stuff. Our drive to bond, which is to connect with other people. It's our drive to learn, which is to be inspired and to grow. And our drive to defend, which comes from our fear of losing something or losing our position. Those 4 drives really dictate why someone would do something. And if you can speak to one of those drives and even get really crystal clear on how your event meets one of those drives, you can often create action, you can create behavior. So the next step is to put pen to paper. And a couple things before we do that. I usually find that it's very important when you're building a value prop that you frame what you're saying in a you. And this isn't a ustedes, many of y'all. Instead, this is a you attendee. I'm speaking to you and telling you what you're going to get by attending our event. And then what I try to do is I come up with a verb to start things off, like hear from, or listen to, or grow, or connect. These are things that are typically happening to you that you're going to get by attending our event. Once I have that verb, then I really begin the rest of the sentence. And the way I build it is collaboratively. I ask people. I typically find if they help plan the fight, they won't fight the plan. And if they can buy into that value prop and give their input, and this is internal, this is attendees, this is our users, if I can get their input, I can really build a solid base of a value proposition for our event. I've actually found a really great example of someone who I think has done this incredibly well. It's Joseph Zuniga over at Segment.com. He has a user conference coming up. It looks awesome. It's called Synapse 2018. And what Joseph has done an incredibly good job of is clearly outlining what the value prop to an attendee is. And he breaks it actually into 2 tracks and 2 themes. Build, you as an attendee are going to learn to build, and grow. You as an attendee can grow from attending our event. And they're communicating this in multiple different ways. Their speakers are segmented by these value props, their tracks are segmented by these value props, and they even have places for underrepresented groups to kind of feel included in this value prop. It's really clever and careful how he outlined this. So let me read just the underlying text, because I found that this was very useful to see how Joseph outlined his value prop. In the build section, you're going to get detailed advice from engineering and product experts on how they built their stack for optimal scale, efficiency, and accuracy. And on the grow section, you're going to hear from leading growth experts on how to use your first-party customer data to deliver experiences your customers will want that will help propel your business. Really well done. This is framing up the conference in terms of what the attendees are going to get by coming. Very nicely articulated. That's just one great example, but I want to urge everyone to really spend the time on their value prop. You know, what I typically see is that people will call me and say, hey, how do I get more RSVPs to this event? And right when I open their page, it's clear that they have not spent time articulating, on communicating why someone should attend their event. What do they get from it? So I want you to ask yourself that question. For your next event, is it incredibly clear, crystal clear, why an attendee should attend and what they're going to get from spending that time? I will also say, if you want more ideas about how to frame up human behavior, check out our episode called The Give Method. It's one of the earliest episodes, and we walk through why do people actually show up at events. I think it's a pretty great one to address this value prop conversation. Anyway, I look forward to seeing some of your value props, and I hope you'll send examples over. And thanks again to Joe Fizuniga from Segment. He's an incredible event marketer out of San Francisco, and good luck with your Segment event. Synapse looks awesome. Thanks for checking in, guys. I'll see you next time on Run of Show. Craving more event content? If so, subscribe below and you can check out more episodes of Run of Show Weekly.